Robert Voisey, and welcome to 15 Minutes of Fame. I'm the director, and I'm live streaming here down in Hell's Kitchen with Thomas Piercy. He is over there. And we are going to be performing this set of Tom's 15 Minutes of Fame. Back earlier this year, actually I think during the pandemic, if I remember correctly, we put out a call for works, both for the clarinet and the hichariki. And we were looking to get a bunch of works and have sort of a mixed concert, but we got so many that Tom had decided why not do two. So we're going to do 15 pieces for 15 Minutes of Fame for clarinet and 15 pieces for hichariki. And this performance is going to be for clarinet. We have several of the composers online with us today, and we're going to play into 3 sets of 5 for you. And I wanted to bring on some of the composers to speak a little bit about their pieces before we play it. The first one is, I know I'm not going to say this right. Well, let's just say his first name is Utsyo. He's an Indian composer born in 2001. And he has done solo music for piano, harp, and electronics, and has been performed by various artists in India, USA, South Korea, Japan, England, and Wales. Hi, Utsyo. How are you? Can you see
It's very nice to
your
be
name for
here.
us?
My name's Utsyo Chakraborty.
Hi,
It's a
welcome.
it's a Bengali name, so it might be a bit tough for non-native speakers.
I'm terrible with names, I have to admit. I do everything via email, so
Ah,
I
yes.
have to improve my game. How are you? Can you tell us a little bit about your piece that you wrote for Tom?
Oh, sure. I actually got to know Tom through his Tokyo to New York concerts, you see. And I was particularly fascinated by the fact that he was championing contemporary composers who were like 98 years old or 8 years old. There's a big gap of composers he's actually covering. So that inspired me to write something for Tom. And I messaged him, and he replied very graciously. And I waited for an opportunity to come, and this opportunity presented itself 2 months later. And so I had the piece I wrote the piece very quickly. Actually, it's called Run. It goes just like the piece. I wrote the piece just as the tempo goes.
Okay.
It's a perpetual motion, as the title very well suggests. And the rhythmic structure is based on 16th notes, and basically the rhythmic structure is based on addition and subtraction of 16th notes. That's you have a very symmetrical pattern, and sometimes there is that stumble or asymmetry which comes across by adding or subtracting a 16th note. And that's, I think, all that you need to know about the piece, and I hope you enjoy it.
Fabulous. And I also wanted to let me bring in Monica Chu. She is, Monica, you out there? Hi,
Hello,
Monica.
Robert.
Monica is an Oakland pianist and composer. In 2017, she released her first solo album, Tender and Strange, featuring works by Bartok, Janicek, Messiaen, Takamitsu, and Scriabin. A gifted player with an affinity for deeply sensitive expression, she has been featured on radio stations worldwide. She started composing in 2017 and couldn't be happier about it. Us too. Prior to 2015, she worked nearly a decade as a principal software engineer on security and privacy at Mozilla and Google. She lives in Oakland with her husband and 1899 Steinway B. I'm very jealous. And a clavichord and a disused violin. Welcome, Monica. It's great to
Thank
have you.
you. Thank you so much for running this program.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your piece that's coming up?
This was actually a piece that was born out of procrastination. I had another 5-minute piano piece that was actually already overdue. And I had never heard of Vox Novus before or met Tom. And a friend posted on Facebook your call for scores, which was like that day or something. And I figured it would be a great way to spend a few hours and feel like I had done something productive, even though it wasn't what I was supposed to have been doing.
Oh, I love
And
it. So this was also another fast-written piece.
It was, and that's the great thing about miniatures. So I had just come back from seeing a friend, and we had taken a walk. And on our way to the trailhead, we had run into this burly cat, which was obviously very extroverted and well-fed. And it had a little encounter on the sidewalk with a stellar jay that was up in a tree. And so there's just two characters that had stuck in my mind from that visit, and they made it into the piece.
Well, I'm sure the audience is going to look forward to it with great anticipation.
Thank you.
And we also have Ulf Grahn that's hanging out in the background. Where's Ulf?
Well, I'm here.
Hi, Ulf. How
Hi,
are you?
Rob. It's fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Ulf Grahn is an award-winning composer of works for orchestra, chamber, solo, choir, theater, and dance. In 1973, he founded the Contemporary Music Forum in Washington, D.C., and he served as its program director until 1984. During 1988 to 1990, he is the artistic and managing director of the Music at Lake Stillajon Festival. And Ulf, we've known each other for many years.
Yeah, I think there was a big conference in New York. It was a kind of big, I can't remember exactly. So I was up there and we managed to get to the same meeting. You were supposed to meet Scandinavians at the reception.
Yes. That's right. I do remember that. Yes, it was one. And we presented.
And you have done several, and I've been actually. I'm really happy about this 1 minute piece idea because if you look back in history, there are many famous pieces that are around 1 minute or a minute and a half. Which
I think so too. I think the short form is great.
And
what
also
about your piece that's coming up?
this one for the clarinet is one was the call for clarinet, but it also happened to coincide with one of my oldest childhood friends just died briefly before that, and I was pondering what shall I do, and then it suddenly dawned on me I can write a short little epitaph as a remembrance about our happy days, and it might have some sad parts into it, but it's primarily felt that it was a happy instance. We had lots of fun together, and the material for the home is like sort of an acrostic, so it's used on the rhythm of his name, and also and the tonal material is taken out of his name.
Okay, that's great. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
And let's last bring up David Gonzalez.
Hello.
Hi, David.
Hi.
David Gonzalez graduated from Central High School in 2018. He is currently attending California State Fresno, and he plans to graduate in 2022 with a BA in music education with an instrumental emphasis. David, you want to tell us a little bit about your piece?
Yeah. So I took a composition class last semester with Dr. Boone, and one of the assignments that we had to do was make a piece for this for either calls of the 15 minutes for fame. And the piece happened because I was just playing around with ideas on clarinet to see what sounded cool and what sticked, and yeah.
Great. Well, I am so glad that Dr. Boone got you to write for this. We're looking forward to hearing it.
Thank you.
I guess we have spoken enough. Let me turn the stage over to Tom. Get you.
And you need this slide? Yes. Oh, there we go. Ready to play? Yes. Okay. Here we go. Run for clarinet. And the next piece, Monica chose Cat and Jay for clarinet. And this performance, dedicated to big cat lovers, Mike and Niho-san. Next is Ulf Grahn's Epitaph. Next, Dancing Glass, de Gonzalez. Next, taking the train to Katerini.
Wow, wasn't that great? I was feeling prideful about sitting right here next to Tom listening to him play, and then I realized that's kind of like what everybody is right now, sort of sitting here just enjoying this space. So that was our first 5, and we are going to go to our next 5. The first piece of this next set is going to be from Akmal Parwez. I was wondering if he can come on. Do we have him? Hi. While studying electronics in Tokyo, composer, vocalist Akmal Parwez studied composition with Yasushi Akutagawa and Klaus Pringsheim. After completing his university studies, he felt compelled to devote his life to music. In the U.S., he studied composition with Florence Jolly, Leo Kraft, Samuel Adler, and Akmal. It's good to see you. Oh, can I hear you? Yeah, there you go. I think we're having some vocal issues with him. But what we can do is play a video from one of our Italian composers, Ugo Raimondi.
Buongiorno a tutti, sono Ugo Raimondi, un giovane compositore italiano. Ringrazio l'associazione Vox Novus di New York e il signor Robert Voisey per avermi dato l'opportunità di parlare del mio brano per clarinetto. Il mio lavoro consiste in una piccola miniatura dal titolo Il folletto dispettoso. Questo brano descrive un piccolo folletto che disturba in tutti i modi la tranquillità di una giovane ninfa del bosco. All'inizio il folletto non si manifesta subito, resta in agguato, si avvicina lentamente per poi saltar fuori da un cespuglio e creare caos intorno a sé. Verso la fine del brano il folletto scappa via, lasciando la ninfa tremante dalla paura, mentre in lontananza si odono ancora i passi leggeri del piccolo folletto. Ringrazio il clarinetista Thomas Piercy per aver selezionato il mio brano ed auguro a tutti voi buon ascolto.
After Ugo's piece, we'll have Manos Panayiotakis, and after that we'll have Sakiko Kosaka, and I believe she's hanging out there in the background. Miss Kosaka received a doctorate degree from Tokyo National University in Fine Arts and Music. Her main activities are based on Japanese ancient traditional music theory, gagaku. Her chamber orchestra piece, GG, sorry, you'll have to correct me, Sakiko, will be performed in UK 2022 at ISCM, Sweden 2009, FBS 2016, Karol Lipinski 2017, and Basel Composition Competition in 2019. Sakiko, hello.
Hello. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for giving a wonderful opportunity like this marvelous concert. My name is Sakiko Kosaka. I'm Japanese, live in Tokyo. Now, leading a brief of my musical thinking. Okay. First, I am interested in Mr. Piercy's musical activities. I, Japanese, have very fine feeling in our mind. However, Mr. Piercy has huge understanding for us. I agree very much with his attitude of updating or brushing up for modern art music. In this time, this piece, Yoiyami-no-ha-ni, it is mean midnight leaf. If I want to express something different from others, I cannot think of anything else to express Japanese. Japanese think the midnight time is a special time of that, even if all of the grasses and trees has all deep sleeping time. This Yoiyami-no-ha-ni expresses small violence moment in that special time. It means microcosmos. Everybody might think it would become a silent expression. However, Japanese like the space where extra information is all removed. This time, Yoiyami-no-ha-ni has such a cultural background. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sakiko. That was awesome. And we're going to be wrapping up this set with Giuseppe Rapisarda. And let's have a little talk.
Here we go with Akmal Parwez, Morning Glow. Next is Yoiyami-no-ha-ni. And Kosaka-san, ohayo gozaimasu. I know it's early in Tokyo for you. Thanks for joining us. A little carnival music.
Yeah, so the last piece was by Anne Somerville-Charles, Carnival, and the next pieces that we have coming up, one will be by Emma Shifrin, and another will be, the next one will be Blair Whittington, and I think we have him in the background. Blair, are you there? Blair Whittington is a... Hi, Blair.
Hi, Rob. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Blair Whittington is a Los Angeles native and composer. His chamber music and art songs have been performed across the United States and Europe, as well as by Vox Novus and 15 Minutes of Fame a lot. We've played your pieces a bunch, haven't we?
Oh yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your piece and what you do.
Well, this was, I saw Tom's call. I'm echoing a little bit, but I saw Tom's call, and I wrote this on a Monday morning in June. And I was just kind of imagining a piece with a lot of just enjoying arpeggios to start. So, and with some legato arpeggios, and of course you want to contrast that using if you're emphasizing standard techniques with maybe staccato. And so there was some staccato and some more clipped phrases in contrast to that. So I just named the piece Rolling Sound because I was enjoying the sound and the rolling arpeggios and the different registers of the clarinet and imagining all those. And of course, a player like Tom can play anything. So that's great. So
That sounds awesome.
it's a Monday morning project. A very good Monday morning in June, yes.
Sounds fun. I can't wait to hear it. And I have a video from Sebastian Zaczek. He's actually had a piece played earlier this afternoon with Drew Hoffler playing the saxophone, and he's in Germany, so he couldn't join us because it's in the middle of the night. But if we could play, he did a video for us.
Hi, my name is Sebastian. I'm a computer science student and free-time composer from Germany. I'm currently studying computer science at the University of Hamburg in my third semester. And whenever I'm not occupied with computer science studies and that kind of stuff, I'm mostly occupied with music. I play the piano, I listen to a lot of music, and I also compose pieces like this little piece, Transparency for solo clarinet. Now, first, let me thank you, Robert, for suggesting this to be a pre-recorded video of mine talking about myself and the piece, because at the time you're seeing this live in the live stream, it's probably around like 2 o'clock in the morning here in Germany, and I rather hope to be in deep and healthy sleep at that time. And also thank you, Thomas, for choosing this piece in the set of 15 and for performing this piece. I'm really happy to hear that, and I'm curious to hear how the piece sounds performed live once the video's up the next morning. Now, the piece Transparency, there's two little musical ideas in this piece that sort of revolve around one another. For the most part, the piece is sort of hovering on the clarinet's throat tones, these thin and, hence the title, rather transparent tones of the clarinet. And from time to time there's also small melodies on these throat tones, which then are copied and elaborated in other registers in which the sound is a bit fuller. So maybe it takes it up an octave or down an octave, and then it sort of explores these different registers of the clarinet, almost as if they were sort of different instruments talking to each other. And then, of course, the clarinet falls back into just hovering on the throat tones. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it. Again, thank you, Thomas, for choosing and performing the piece. That's Transparency for you. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you, Sebastian. And we'll be completing the 15 with Parsa Zandi's piece. Now, without further ado,
Here we go with Emma Shifrin's Dialogue. And Blair Whittington's Rolling Sound. Transparency. And the next piece is Parsa Zandi's Lifespan of a Fly.
Awesome. I think well, we should just bring everybody on. Let's bring everybody back. Say, hi, everybody. Is that everybody?
Hi, bravo, Tom.
Yeah, let's have a big. Wait, let's.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna come over here, or
Yeah, let me sneak over. So let me make a for our audience out there. If anybody wants to ask a question in chat to either Tom or to the composers or to me, please feel free to do so, and we would love to hear your thoughts and questions and meanwhile, here we go. We made it. There we go.
hi everybody.
Hello.
Nice to see you after seeing all your little black dots for so long.
So let me just kind of open it up to the floor. What do you guys think about 15 Minutes of Fame and this performance? And how about this? What do you think about separating the? Because when you wrote for it, you had to choose to write for clarinet or hichiriki. Does anybody feel any way about that?
Well,
It's all good.
I think it's
No, I choose the clarinet because I'm most familiar with that because I've written enough for regular and also an awful lot for bass clarinet. So I didn't feel I had the time to learn another instrument. Particularly not the Japanese instruments, because I tried that before and it was not very successful.
Yeah, when Rob and I talked about starting this call for scores, and he said clarinet, because I've done a bunch of these calls, clarinet and guitar, clarinet, piano, cello, clarinet and cello, but I'd never done a solo clarinet one. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, let's put in hichiriki. I didn't think many composers would send, but almost the same number of pieces came in for hichiriki as for clarinet. So instead of one concert, I was able to split it up for one for clarinet and one for hichiriki.
I think we're so blessed to have such a performer who has command of such different instruments. And I for one, felt some measure of regret reading the call that I didn't know hichiriki, and I didn't have time to explore it during my, the time that I had set for myself.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something to look forward to hearing your next concert.
Oh yes, definitely. I do agree with Monica here. And Tom, I will write a piece for hichiriki for you. Don't worry, I will.
Yes. I look forward to seeing it.
And what do you guys think about the format of 15 Minutes of Fame and the sort of presentation? I mean, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're, it was such an enormously varied collection of works, and you really got a sense that it was a diverse group of people's thoughts and feelings and the different techniques they chose. And Tom, just to do it as a performer, to nail the characterizations in such a short time, it was really wonderful to hear that vast spectrum.
Yeah, as a performer, that is I don't want to say the bad, but that is the good and also the challenge of these pieces that are also different and from all over the world. And then, of course, choosing which ones I want to play. But in doing these 15 Minutes of Fame, and today was maybe a little easier because it was broken up into 3 sets. Usually I've done all 15 at once. And the difficulty is going from piece to piece because they are so different. If I was playing the Beethoven trio, I've got 22 minutes to live in Beethoven's sound world. But in this, I had to go from one sound world to the next, to the next, to the next. But that's also part of the charm for me because I like making those quick changes.
Yeah, the fun part about doing this online is we get to hear a little bit from everybody. You know, when it was back at the Aarhus Church, you know, we didn't always have that opportunity. And with this online, it's nice to hear a little bit from all the composers, especially with such an international group.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fun.
Yeah, this is I mean, this is a really we spanned the entire globe.
Yes.
Do we have somebody from Australia in this group?
No.
This is probably one of the few 15 minutes of fans we don't have in Australia.
Three of us are from California.
Yeah, but it's great. We had the last piece was by a 17-year-old composer who lives in Tehran, and we had a couple of Zoom sessions because he has never had his music performed. This was, and he said, and the piece is very, very good. And I was surprised when he was telling me that he'd never had his music performed. And at first, it was almost rubbing me a bit wrong when his insistent emails, wanting to hear this, wanting to hear that. And it was, no, he's just so excited. And then he would apologize, says, oh, I'm sorry, but I just want it to be perfect. I want to hear it. And so it was great working with him. Of course, it's in the middle of the night there. And then we have someone from Japan, we have from Europe. So it's great to have all of these different people and different styles here today.
And you know what? Let me, sorry to pick on David for his youth, but so David, what did you think about like hearing this piece for the first time?
Oh, it was very cool. It was amazing. It's very different going from like a MIDI to like actual in person. It's very, it's very cool. Thank you.
And did you say that you had just started composing?
Yeah, I mean, I've played clarinet for like 10-ish years now, but I've never really started composing until like last semester or for classes, yeah, but not like
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a good start.
Absolutely. And is there? Does anybody have questions for me or for Tom? Or comments?
Oh, I just love this entire program. I think it was just lovely, and you know, it's an honor for my music to be played by Tom, because I've admired him for quite a long time now, and you know, he plays the music of Ned Rodham so wonderfully, and I just love his music. And the fact that he is in close correspondence with Ned is actually what surprises me and makes me feel even more honored that my own music is now being played by him. And for that, I thank you very much, Tom.
Yeah. Well, since you brought up Ned, I'm seeing him tomorrow. And usually, Ned, I take my clarinet with me because he usually says, oh, do you have something to play for me? And I always ask him what he wants to play. And so tomorrow I will take your piece and play it for Ned.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, everybody, it's it's getting somewhat late here in New York City, and I think we have lots of comments in the chat about all the performances, which is great. But does anybody have any other questions or comments? And yes, Akmal.
Maybe not.
Okay.
I want to close out by saying thank you so much for writing these pieces. I love playing these short pieces, and it's a real honor for me that you trust your little black notes to me so I can bring them to life. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much,
you,
Robert.
Thank you, guys. It's just a pleasure to perform all your pieces. And I also want to just mention a big thank you to Virtual Concert Halls. their engineers, and all the people working in the background there. Without them,
Thank you to
we wouldn't be able to have these online streaming performances.